we're moving into just our last few minutes, right, of closing. And I want to, after these 10 years, with permission, I want to leave you with a seduction text. It's a text of Solomon from the Song of Songs, and it's possibly the most important text written. And there's a word in English which we call will, like free will, my will, the will of God, will. And will is everything. Will is where I come from. It's my will. It's my will to live. Schopenhauer said correctly, will is everything. Will is the mood of my life. Will is the power that courses through me. Will is the political will of a community. It's the will of a unique self symphony. So the word will seems like a strange, archaic thing. Tell us a great story, do a great exercise. Right? No. This word will is everything. So the word will, right, comes through the Latin, the English, but the ultimate source of it is from Solomon. And Solomon, as in the wisdom of Solomon, as the great mystic Solomon, the great interior scientist Solomon. And I want to just say this all gently. So I want to say it just so the words find their way, and we just meet each other in a, I hope you all felt today that today's gentle day, right? Gentle, right? Kind of, we're laying down, right? We're not blowing the roof out together. We're just gentle. We've been gentle the whole day. We're chatting. We're just chatting. It's a different day, okay? So the source of the word will, the phrase will, is from the Song of Solomon, where the song says, the lover says to the beloved, Mashcheni acharecha narutza. So the word will in Hebrew is ratzon, R-A-T-Z-O-N. Just get the word for a second, like it's a Sanskrit word, ratzon, right? Ratzon. And ratzon, that word will, ratzon, comes from a three-part phrase in the set of love notes between a lover and a beloved, which is the Song of Songs. And the Song of Songs, in the hidden lineage, think Da Vinci codes, think Magdalene mysteries, and the hidden lineage from which Magdalene mysteries came from, and from which Da Vinci code came from which the troubadours came from which all the esoteric societies came from, the hidden lineage of Solomon, it's written that if all of the law and the wisdom in the world didn't exist, we could govern the entire world based on the Song of Songs. And what's the Song of Solomon, the Song of Songs? It's a text which is a series of love notes between a lover and a beloved. So if all of the wisdom didn't exist in the world, and in all of the text, and in all of the knowledge, and all of the ratio, right, and all of the traditions, if nothing existed, and we just had, 3rd century, the wisdom, the knowing of these outrageous love notes, which are the Song of Songs, we could govern ourselves in all of reality based on the Song of Songs, right? And all of the books are holy, but says one master, but the only book that's holy of holies, that's on the inside of the inside, right? That's sanctum sanctorum. That's where we are in mystery school. We're in the Holy of Holies. We're on the inside of the inside. We're in sanctum sanctorum. The only book that's holy of holies is the Song of Solomon. And what's the Song of Solomon? It's no theology. It's no rigorous logic, right? It's no essays. It's not a great library. It's a series of love notes between the lover and the beloved. That's what the Song of Solomon is. And at the core of the Song of Solomon is seduction. They're trying to seduce each other. They're trying to find each other. And stay with me. And it's not simple. It's not a simple text. She's there, completely there, and then he's not around. Then he knocks on the door, chapter 5. Kol dodi do fake, the voice of my beloved is knocking, and she says, Pashatati et kutanti chachal b'shena. I've taken off my clothes. I'm in bed. How can I get up and answer the door? Right? And the whole text is this, right? They're searching, they can't quite find each other. Until one says, the lover says to the beloved, Mashcheni acharecha, draw me after you, narutza, and I will run towards you. So that word rutza, run, is ratzon, will. Same word. Now stay close because it gets crazy, gorgeous, and beautiful. So this is the other seduction story. We just saw today the shadow seduction story, and I didn't want to finish the week without bringing the shadow energy in. We can't finish 10 years of wisdom school. It's not all sweetness light. There's a world, and there's shadow energy, and there's seduction, there's manipulation. And seduction's subtle, and it's insidious, and it's multi-layered. But underneath, there's a deeper love story, and that deeper love story is about a higher and deeper seduction. And something gorgeous happens. You see, the text says, draw me after you, right? Draw me after you. Narutza, I'll run towards you. But one second, the word run is the word will. So I'll run towards you, I'll be in my will. But isn't that moment in sexing, for example, because the sexual model is Eros, isn't that moment in sexing when I draw me after you? So what is this describing, right? So you're kind of the beginning process of sexing. Right? And you're in, maybe, yes, right? And then you cross a line, right? Now, you may not be familiar with this, but you may have read about it someplace, okay? So you're in, now you've crossed the line, right? Draw me after you. Now, roots, I'm running at that moment, okay? So find that moment. So isn't that moment a moment in which I've given up my will? No, in holy seduction, that's actually the moment where I found my will, right? I've given up my lower will, Shechinati Ta'ah, the lower goddess, but I've accessed my true nature. And I'm a lover. I'm in full play. Right? This is actually who I am. And I look in your face and I scream the name of God. Right? This is the truth of reality. That's will. And at the very core of reality, right, argues this sacred text, Mashcheni acharecha, draw me after you. That's not consent. Oh, was there consent? Right? We're so lost. We've lost the story of seduction. Of course we need consent. Right? Good morning. Of course. Right? Any relationship without, of course, that's a given. But that's not what the story's about. Right? We go to consent because, which is so self-evidently, glaringly obvious because we've lost what seduction is. No. The lover says to the beloved, not I consent. No, draw me after you. Mashcheni, draw me, seduce me. Right? Narutza, I'll run towards you. Emotionally, aesthetically, artistically, politically, right? Economically, right? The sexual model is Eros. Right? This is not right. It's about Eros. Right? Reality is a love story, and reality is a story of seduction. Right? And in seduction, I use my mind, and I use my heart, and I use my body, and I use wisdom streams. That's all true. And certainly, we didn't spend the week not studying. Right? We didn't spend the last 10 years not engaging deeply, right, the interior sciences and tried to revision, right, and integrate all the information, right? We did all that, right? For sure. But when that's all said and done, underneath the whole thing and what's driving the whole thing, right, is this love story, and at the core of the love story is seduction. And seduction is awesome. Who would want to live in a world where we can't be seduced? Right? And it's the nature of a materialist, reductive world is that there's no seduction because there's nothing to seduce you. So seduction can only be a boundary violation. That's all there's left. It's a materialist world. Seduction's a boundary violation, right? When I read an author, when I read an Aramaic text, and I want that text to seduce me, draw me in, right? Get underneath my mind and find my heart and open a space that I've never seen, right? And love me open to reality. So we said the first day that we can replace know thyself with seduce thyself. Right? That reality is arousal. And this applies to you if you're celibate. Right? Polyamorous has nothing to do with sexuality now. We use sexuality as an image now. It's a critical and beautiful image. But the point, if you haven't been with us before, the sexual model is Eros. There's 12 billion years of Eros before sex. Right? And 12 billion years afterwards. The sexual is a model for Eros. So, Unique Self Symphony, what we say is we're going to take responsibility to seduce each other. That's what we say. Wow. We can do that. We can do that. And that's what we got to do. We have to actually seduce culture. We can't just ram it down culture's throat. We can't declare. But we can't seduce culture unless we can seduce ourselves. We can't arouse culture unless we can arouse ourselves. And you could say, why does he have to choose that provocative way of saying it? Because it's the truth. There's actually no other way to say it. It's why why it hasn't worked, right? Da Vinci, right, was all seduction, all day and all night, right? Facinio, right, all of them, right? It's got to be everywhere alive. I can't build a company, right, from 70 to 750 people without seducing people, right? Holy seduction. Break the boundary of your contraction, right? I can't walk into a store and feel like I'm so welcome here. I can't build a company, and I can't create a relationship unless we're seducing each other all the time. And the second in a relationship, I give up my gorgeous, sacred, noble responsibility to seduce my beloved, it's over. There's only one sacred text, outrageous love notes between the lover and the beloved. That's it. There's no other sacred texts. So the scholars say, they discover all this historical evidence, and they say, this is really just a tavern song. Of course, you idiots. It's a tavern song. That's the point. Right? It's a tavern song between lover and beloved. Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. That's the sacred text. Right? Like, wow. Wow. So Darth Vader didn't get the blessing of the Father, and he got cut off from the blessing of the Mother. So the invitation is that this is to mother you. We mother each other in Unique Self Symphony. We're going to meet again and again. We're going to meet at, right, 2.0, right, whatever that looks like. We're going to meet in mystery school. We're going to meet in One Mountain. We'll meet in Holy of Holies. Right? We'll meet in all the places we meet in, and Suzette and Krista, right, spoke so beautifully yesterday. We're going to meet in the Unique Self course, right, with Claire. Right? We'll meet in the movie. We'll meet in all the places we meet. And find us and find each other. And us as each other. Right? Us as each other. Whenever I say anything at an internal staff meeting, like 15 of us gather every week, I just say, let's never ever get up and say you. It's us. We're Unique Self Symphony.